Yes, hello everybody. My name is Alfonso Moran, and I am doing a research critique on an article entitled Motivational Determinants of Physical Education Grades and the Intention to Practice Sports in the Future. I am a student here at Cal State San Bernardino in Southern California, and I am pursuing a degree in kinesiology with a concentration in pedagogy. I hope to become a physical education teacher at the high school level, to help encourage and motivate our students to pursue a lifetime of physical activity and fitness. Before I start my article critique, I wanted to share a quote that I saw that I really enjoyed. It was written by Benjamin Franklin, and it says, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn." Now, the objective of my article was to look at the motivational climate produced by PE teachers and class, and how the encouragement and behavior of the teacher um, help motivate and regulate the students. The second purpose of the article was to analyze student satisfaction with their physical education teachers. Also, another thing analyzed in this article was how behavioral regulations can explain PE grades and for students to practice sports in the future. So pretty much the class environment and how a positive environment can influence students to pursue physical activity outside of just a regular PE class, hopefully an after school sport or activity. The method done in this study was done with 618 students. The students were given different questionnaires and just to receive the variables of the different answers. Out of the 618 students, 290 of them were female students and 328 were male students. The students ranged from sixth grade all the way up to ninth grade, and their ages was from 10 years old all the way up to 18 years old. Now, the results of this study determined a positive correlation in students um, that if their basic psychological needs were met in class, that included encouragement, a positive class environment, it motivated the students to pursue and to be more active in physical activity. Um, and obviously to pursue more physical activity, hopefully outside of the classroom. Um, the researchers also looked at the students' grades at the end of the school year um, to see if there was a positive correlation in their grades, which should be higher if they enjoyed the positive atmosphere in class and the positive encouragement from the teacher. The student satisfaction of the basic psychological needs are influenced by the climate. The climate is very important. The students need to feel accepted and safe and encouraged in their classroom environment, so they could learn more, and want to pursue more physical activity. It also showed um, that introduction to motivation was influenced. That individual motivation was influenced by student satisfaction of the three basic psychological needs. Motivational regulations has a significant effect on practices outside of physical activity, outside of school. Showed through grades at the end of the year. The grades were higher, showing that the kids were more involved in physical activity. This study demonstrates how a positive motivational climate in class given by the PE teacher can have a positive influence on student satisfaction of learning physical activity and how they are more likely to pursue after school activities in physical activity. Students who received higher grades also showed they were more likely to pursue physical activities, programs, or sports after school, which is one of the main goals of a physical education teacher, to have them learn what the introduction to pretty much a lot of sports and movements and regular PE classes, and for them to continue with it and after school programs such as sports or just fun activities after school. The critique that I wanted to look into was the age of the students. Now, in my opinion, I think the age of the students was a little too big, too wide in range. I mean, a 10-year-old is a lot different than an 18-year-old. Some 10-year-olds have not gone through puberty, um, while 18-year-olds are a lot older, almost adulthood. That's going to affect the outcome of the questionnaire that is given to the students. Um, the other thing that I noticed was that the questionnaires were done at random, so we don't know whether a 10-year-old answered the questionnaire or it was an 18-year-old. Because the answers could be a lot different, just pretty much from how a PE teacher encourages a 10-year-old compared to how a PE teacher encourages an 18-year-old. I think it may be totally different. The other critique I had was that more than half of the students that participated in the study already participated in after school activities such as sports or physical activity events after school. So that kind of leads me to believe that the students were already leaning more towards physical activity, and their outcome of the questionnaire is going to be way different than a student who has not been engaged in physical activity. A student that has not done any physical activity in after school programs may show a little bit lower grades and not a positive attitude towards physical activity. But if with the positive encouragement and a positive atmosphere in a class, um, the PE teacher could get a good idea by giving those students just the questionnaire and by checking their grades at the end of the year to see how much of an improvement they've actually made and how many of them have joined sports. So in my opinion, I believe that this way of doing a questionnaire to kids that already are physically active is a little, it's gonna maybe throw off the results in my opinion. But overall, this was a great, it was a very good study done by these researchers, and it shows the importance of how important it is for physical education teachers to really encourage and motivate, as long as making a good, positive atmosphere for their class, so students could all engage and feel like they need to participate and hopefully pursue more physical activity in the future. Final thoughts, just same thing. Physical education teachers are very important in our public schools, and I think they do a real good job, especially with studies like this. It really shows what they need to do if they aren't doing it already. Thank you, everybody.